So hello guys and welcome back to what is going to be a favourites video. It is a favourites video. I did just want to check in with you very quickly at the beginning of this video though. I'm filming this after a pretty tumultuous weekend here in the UK, as is continually going on in the rest of the world too. It seems to be one thing after another right now, and I just wanted to make sure you guys were all okay and doing the best you possibly can do in the current circumstances. I know that I'm definitely feeling a lack of positivity right now, which really is the only thing I feel is going to pull our mental health through at this point. But I feel as if together we can kind of try and do that the best we can. I'm going to be here hopefully on YouTube again, like I did at the beginning of the very first lockdown, and posting as much content as possible, just to kind of give not only you guys something to distract yourselves with, but also myself something to distract myself with, just by kind of churning out as much as I physically can. So I will probably talk about this. I'm going to vlog this week, and I will maybe talk a little bit more in depth with you guys, because it's always nice to have a little check-in and a chat. So yeah, I just wanted to preface this video with that, and I do genuinely really hope that you guys are doing well out there. So what better to zone our minds out to than with a nice chunky favourites video, and it is going to be pretty chunky because I didn't do last month. It's kind of going to be a combined September and October favourites. If I'm honest, last month there wasn't really enough to warrant doing one of these videos, so I thought I would save it for now and just bunch everything up together. So it's a pretty heavy beauty favourites actually, which isn't that common nowadays, but I've definitely found a lot of new things this month that I'm kind of excited about, and I wanted to show you guys. There's also a few non-beauty favourites in here. There's a book, which I will talk about later on, but let's just jump right in and start with these bits first. And I have been having a little bit of a Liz Earle moment. I have always loved Liz Earle. They were one of the very first beauty brands that I got into back when I was just very fresh and new and starting out on this whole beauty journey. And I was probably about 16 or 17 when I tried my first cleanse and polish, and it was just history from then. Then they're out. So back to now, and probably what I'd say has been my favourite of the month. This one I'm going to just get out of the way first, and give it its little crown. It is the Skin Replenish Body Balm. So this was recommended to me, or was from a recommendation from Lucy Moon. And I have been trying my best to keep up with moisturising my body. I feel like skincare on the body is something we really neglect, and especially for me, something I need to concentrate on, because around this time of year especially, it gets very lizard-like. Every day, once I've showered, I do try and just kind of coat myself in as much moisture as possible. So normally I'll go for something with a pump, something in a tube that's just very easy and quick to use. Whereas these body balms and body butters that tend to come in tubs are a little bit more of like an indulgent treat. They're a bit more luxurious because they do feel super rich and gorgeous, but are very hard to sort of work in. You kind of have to walk around like this for a while. But this one is definitely the opposite of that. I've been using this as my everyday body cream, and it is beautiful. It's so rich and lovely, really nourishing, really softening, but just so easy to work in. I nearly finished this whole tub up. I have another one on its way to me now. And one of my favourite things about this is just the smell. That smell every morning gets me going. It gets me through my day. It's like, it's my equivalent of my morning coffee, but in skincare form. Just gets me ready to power through. Absolutely love it. With all Liz Earle skincare products, they all have a slightly different scent, I feel, but they're all very based in like the botanical and herbal scents. Really uplifting, but also quite comforting at the same time. So I love that so much. I had to talk about it first because I wanted to give it a bit of a rave. I've also been using another body product, which I have completely run out of now. I picked this up around about the same time, I think. It's the Orange Flower Botanical Body Wash. Very simple, very standard kind of foaming body wash, but the scent again is just lovely. It's very orange based because of the orange flower, but still nice and uplifting and soothing too. Sometimes when I use this in the shower, I'll just literally like take a moment to just breathe it all in before I wash it off. And again, it's a nice calming ritual to have, just 30 seconds in the morning, spending some time breathing. Breathing is essential, but mindful breathing is also very, very helpful to me especially. So really, really into the Earle body products right now. And I do actually have a final product from them. This is skincare. Long-time viewers and subscribers of this channel will have probably seen this in various different favourites videos throughout the years, in various different forms too. It's the Instant Boost Skin Tonic Spritzer. I've had this quite a bit in the bottle, so the one that you pour onto a cotton wool, but I thought I would try it in the spritzer. And it's kind of every so often, every year, every couple of years or so, I find myself missing this. I find myself wanting it back in my life. It's very strange to miss and to think about a skincare product in your everyday goings on, but I do. So this is kind of the second step in the Earle skincare routine, which is the hot cough cleanser, the tonic, and then the moisturizer of your choice. And this has always been my favorite step of those three when I did use all of them together. These sort of like spritz toners are nothing new, and there are so many of them on the market, but this one for me, it's just the scent. It is so soothing. It's aloe vera, calendula, cucumber, and rose geranium, with a natural source of vitamin E as well. So to me, it just smells like a nice soft hug. When I spritz this on my skin, and I'll use it throughout my skincare routine, so after I've cleansed, and then I'll also use it throughout the day, just literally spray it on like that, and it is glorious. It is heavenly. And the smell, again, I just take a moment to kind of breathe in that smell, and I love it. It is so wonderful. On a much more practical level, also great for refreshing your makeup and keeping it looking less cakey. I do tend to use more powders around this time of year, so it's great to kind of just take that very dry powdery look away, and also just a great toning step as well in your skincare routine. So big love to Earle this month. I feel like I needed you and you were there for me, and thanks. Let's continue with the skincare and talk about a few newbies, a few new additions to my routine. I've pretty much throughout the whole past 6 or 7 months, stuck to a similar skincare routine of products that I have used for a long time and that I love and I know that work for me. So when something new, especially two somethings new, get added into that routine, it's quite a big deal. So I'm going to talk about this cleanser first. It's from The Ordinary, which are just a great, affordable but very ingredients-based powerhouse of a brand. If you haven't come across them yet, if you're looking for some budget skincare, I mean, I wouldn't really recommend anything else but here. Just go straight there. So this is the Squalane cleanser. This is the full size, but what got me into this was the mini. I went away for a few days and just packed a few minis like I usually do, not really thinking too much about it. And it could either be down to the circumstances of me being away and just feeling relaxed and stress-free for the most part, or this. But I feel like it was this that just made my skin feel the best it has felt potentially all year. Squalane is a great hydrating ingredient. It's not one that I'm super familiar with. I'm definitely more of a hyaluronic acid girl. I know where I stand with that. But Squalane is great. It's something I really should look into more, and try some different products incorporating it. But the cleanser, I feel like cleanser is so essential. It's the first step of your skincare routine, and it really kind of sets the bar, I think, for what you're trying to do. You'd think because it's a product you're washing off that it doesn't make too much difference, but it really, really does. And I find that I need a hydrating cleanser or my skin is just instantly sucked of all moisture and feels very tight and uncomfortable. So this is like a balmy cream. It's somewhere in between like a jelly, a cream cleanser, a milk, but it's nice and thick, and you just massage it all over your face. It breaks down makeup superbly. It's really great for that. And then emulsifies when you add water and can be taken off with a cloth. And that's how I do it. It does say that it melts into an oil, and I wouldn't say it's quite an oil, but it's a very oily consistency. So I just really enjoyed using that, and I continued to use it when I got back and started on the full size one here. I've not really worn a lot of base makeup recently, and I feel like it's down to this just making my skin so even, keeping it nourished, keeping it plumped, and just looking nice and fresh with a pH. So wanted to mention that. And then also a moisturizer, which I was sent, I may have been sent this recently, or I may have been sent it a while ago. I just found it in a bag of new things to try, and I remembered, this is such a throwback for me, but I remembered how much I used to love this. It's from Origins, it's the High-Potency Nitamins. I probably got this back when I was working on the beauty counters and trying just about everything I could, whether that was from the brand I was working for or not. And I remember being obsessed with this product and Origins in general. I definitely had a big Origins phase. Hands up if you remember the Plantscription years. I really need to rebuy that concealer again because it's another one I think about regularly and remember how much I used to love it. So surely it must still be good. This is actually an oil-free night cream. Normally I wouldn't these days go for anything oil-free, but what I love to do with this, because it is so lightweight, it's a really almost like whipped gel texture moisturizer. It still does pack quite a punch of hydration, but just feels super light and breathable on the skin. What I like to do with this is get a little bit in my hand and then pour a few drops of facial oil in. I've been using the Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Oil and the Elemis Superfood one kind of interchangeably. Really like both of those. And it just makes for a beautiful moisturizer. Again, really lightweight, very breathable, but also really gives my skin what it needs overnight. And I wake up and still feel like it's kind of doing what it needs to do. It hasn't just dissolved or rubbed off in the night, which can be the case for quite a few night creams. So yeah, that has been another newbie but oldie and goodie in my skincare routine, and I've been really enjoying using it again. I have a few hair products to talk about actually, and I don't often include hair products in favorites videos because I honestly just use the same thing day in, day out, and I barely even use styling products anymore when it comes to my hair. But one thing that is essential for me, as I'm sure is for many of you too, is dry shampoo. I probably repurchase dry shampoo more than anything else. Dry shampoo for me is just the thing that I go through the most. The longer my hair has gotten, and we have had a few ill-advised lockdown haircuts, but the longer it's gotten, the less I try and wash it just to keep it healthy. So I do really reach for dry shampoos on the regular, especially when I'm working out. On the odd occasion that happens these days. If I'm working out or if it's the weekend, something like that, because I don't really like to wash my hair on the weekend. That's the kind of person that I am. Various different scenarios that aren't really that relevant to you, but yes, definitely dry shampoo is one of my most used and favourite products. So I go through a lot of it, and I also try a lot of different brands, some incredibly disappointingly, and some, to my surprise, as with this one, very, very good. Dry shampoo I think is also more subjective based on your hair type as well, based on your hair colour, based on what you're looking for from it. For me, I have quite a lot of hair, but it's quite thin, so it's not thick in terms of the follicles, but there's just a lot of it on my head. And I also like my dry shampoos to leave my scalp feeling clean but not weighed down. So the ones that have a lot of texture in them, which are more sort of dry shampoo slash texturizing sprays, I don't like the feeling of putting my hands into my hair and it just being like stiff and full of product. I feel like it's quite hard to find a dry shampoo that sort of fits the bill for that, one that just cleans your hair and leaves it feeling like light and product free. And then I found this. It's from Living Proof and it's the Perfect Hair Day Dry Shampoo. It says actually cleans hair, eliminates oil, sweat and odour. Living Proof are a great hair care brand. They're really one that I haven't explored enough of, but every time that I do, I find that I am a big fan of whatever I've tried. Spraying this in is just a joy. You can barely even feel or see it as you're using it. And it really does feel like it cleans your hair. It doesn't feel like there's anything left. It's very hard as well to get the white patches with this. I mean, I have pretty dark hair right now and I don't see any of that whiteness. If I do, it's like a tiny bit and it's easily rubbed or brushed out. And it also smells so nice. It does leave your hair feeling fresh and smelling fresh, but not in an artificial way. Some dry shampoos really can mask the scent of your hair with, you know, lots of perfumes and fragrance. And although this is fragrance, it's so kind of refreshing. It's just a really nice, light, manageable scent. So big thumbs up for that one. And I would probably just repurchase this once I finished it. I don't feel the need to try and venture out into anything new at the moment. I feel like for now, how my hair is and what I want it to do, this is perfect. And then kind of going backwards into my routine, I maybe should have mentioned this first. This is another throwback. I feel like I'm very drawn to nostalgic items at the moment. I want to feel that comfort of remembering how things used to feel. And this one is a long time ago. Who remembers the Body Shop banana range. It's actually the banana shampoo and conditioner that I used to use many years ago. I'd still kind of wander into a body shop every now and then and just smell them for kicks because they smell so good. And I was in there recently and was really shocked and surprised to see that they still make and sell them. I wasn't really in the market for a new shampoo and conditioner, but what I was after was a hair mask, and lo and behold, they have a banana nourishing hair mask now. The smell of this is just, oh my god. The scent of this literally pops me back into one particular point in my life, and it's kind of to the point that it's quite scary that it can do that. Scent is such an incredible thing that it can just evoke a memory in you instantly. But despite that, it is beautiful. It's like bananas, but sweet bananas. It reminds me of the banana medicine that I used to have as a child. I think anyone under the age of 10 that used to get sick, that needed, I guess it was antibiotics or something, would be served to you in a little spoon, this yellow like gloopy medicine, but it tasted like bananas, and it tastes like these, kind of like the flump, are they called flumps? The little foamy flump marshmallow bananas as well. It smells like that. Just so good, so sweet and so lovely. And with the shampoo and conditioner as well as this mask, it just lingers on your hair for so long. I washed my hair with this a few days ago, and I feel like I can almost still smell it. In terms of a hair mask, it is great. I definitely noticed my hair has gotten drier and drier throughout the months, and it's just getting like stiff to the point that I can barely brush it now. And I used this, left it on for about 10 minutes while I was in the bath, and it felt beautiful. My hair was like just swooshing and silky and like a Pantene advert. So I highly recommend trying this if you feel like your hair has gotten just a bit dry and not taken care of so well, especially if you hadn't had or managed to get it cut for so long. I haven't been at the hairdressers for a while now. I don't actually think it was that expensive. Body Shop products are kind of like on the low medium size of the budget. I think it was maybe £12, so not cheap, but definitely not bank breaking, like something along the lines of the Philip Kingsley Elasticizer, which is also great, but just so pricey. So yeah, I definitely recommend trying that, especially if you're a fan of the original scent of the banana shampoo and conditioner. Okay, so in terms of beauty, I just have makeup left to talk about now, and I only have 2 products. Makeup, I've not really been wearing it. I don't think that's a surprise for anyone, because I'm sure a lot of us are in the same camp. And when I have been wearing it, it's just been my standard everyday go-tos. I did a makeup video actually, it might have even been the last video I posted, where I sat down and tried something new. And I did like a kind of flicked out smoky shadow liner. And since then, I've actually been really into kind of emphasizing my eyes in that way. I think especially when I'm wearing a mask and I do go out and I put something on my face, I think it's really important to just make sure there's a bit more going on around here. To be honest, when I wear a mask and I know that I'll have it on from door to door, I won't be taking it off, I don't put makeup on here. I literally just put makeup on here. I'll do something on my head, bronzer, and then just my eyes and my brows, sometimes even just brows, and then everything here is just left. No point wasting good makeup if nobody's going to see it. So on my eyes, when I have been doing a bit more, I've been using these 2 products from Honest Beauty. This is my first foray into Honest Beauty, despite hearing quite a bit about it. I think this is from Cult Beauty. They did send it to me. So I've got the eyeliner here, which is what I'm wearing today. I've got quite a strong look. Today was one of those days when the eyeliner just wasn't quite going symmetrically, and things got a bit bigger than they maybe should have. And this is great. It's just a dippy pot. It's got like a felt nib, so it's not got bristles or anything like that, which I do sometimes find a bit tricky to work with. It's really black, it's really intense. You don't need to sit there and work it, first of all, like you do with some pens. As much as I love a pen, they can be a bit tricky to use sometimes. Liquid liners with the dippy pot do take a bit more practice, I feel like. You can smudge very easily, but if you have a steady hand, I feel like this is a good one, a really good one. And actually what has been my favourite of the 2 is the mascara. This is just the Honest Beauty mascara. It doesn't have any other name on it, but you do get 2 parts to this. It has a primer here at the top. I've used the primer a few times and I think it's great. I just don't have the patience to sit there and do more steps than necessary. But the mascara portion of this for me is what really makes it stand out. It's so good. I haven't used a different mascara for potentially a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I'm a By Terry Lash Expert Twist Brush, it's quite hard to say, mascara girl through and through, but this has kind of taken me off that, and I have been reaching for it every day. It's a nice bristle brush without too long of bristles. It's also plastic as well, but a very soft plastic, so I feel like it really bends and flexes to your eye shape, which is always great. For my first kind of induction into Honest Beauty, I'm actually really impressed with those two, so it's a brand I definitely want to check out a little bit more. Last of all, and probably the most relevant to our current situation right now, I wanted to talk about this hand sanitizer because I have finally been able to buy one of these. They have finally come back in stock. I'm not sure how long that will last for, but if you want one, I recommend going and seeking it out as soon as possible. This has always been my favourite hand sanitizer, and I didn't have any, or I haven't had any recently, and I've been really missing it. And now I have a couple. I managed to order some. It's from Aesop, and it's the Geranium Leaf Rinse-Free Hand Wash. I'm a massive fan of the Aesop actual hand soap, and this has that same really beautiful scent. Aesop products are just scented so Aesop products just smell so wonderful, and it's a good hand sanitizer as well. I feel like now truly is the time when we're comparing the difference between hand sanitizer formulas, because they make a difference. This isn't one that's too sticky or gloopy or feels like hair gel, like it's just never going to work in. It's light, it's efficient, and also on a more superficial level, it's very cute and has a nice bit of packaging there, if that is important to you. So yeah, last quick little mention for the Aesop hand sanitizer. Okay, so those are all the beauty favourites done. I wanted to sit and take a little bit of time to talk about some of the supplements I've been taking recently. I'm going to quickly whiz through them, but I might mention a bit more in depth in a vlog because I feel as if I've chatted for quite a while now. The main one being this Collagen Inner Beauty Boost from The Beauty Chef. I picked this up recently when I was at Skin Work to get a facial. They invited me to go for a facial there. It's one of my favourite places for a facial in London, and I go quite often, and I usually pay for myself, but they very kindly gifted me a treatment, and I picked this up while I was there because I was told that my skin is dry, obviously, no surprises there, and actually working on that from within is also great, as well as using relevant skincare products too. And a lot of collagen is actually marine based, so it's usually made with fish products. It's really hard to find not only a vegetarian collagen but a vegan one in particular, and this is a vegan collagen drink. It also, I think, has probiotic benefits, and there's vitamin C in here and some zinc as well. You take a teaspoon of this, mix it in with some water. It tastes really good. Normally supplements like this taste pretty funky. This tastes like red wine gums to me in drink form, which I'm not against. I've been taking it pretty consistently now for maybe even a full month, and perhaps that is why my skin also has been feeling a lot better. Maybe it is coming from within, as well as using the products that I talked about, but I'm going to continue using it for a lot longer, see how it goes, because I feel like so far so good. So wanted to mention that because I feel like vegan collagen is not easy to come across. I've also still been taking my CB2 immune capsules. I worked with CB2 a couple of months ago now, so they're a previous partner, but I kind of was introduced to this through that job, and I've continued to take them because I really, really like them. So they're a really easy way of getting CBD into your routine. I use these in the morning. I just take one capsule with breakfast, and I feel like at the moment it truly is a time when I need to be taking something that lowers my anxiety and just generally calms me down. They have quite a few different versions of these. I've got the ones with vitamin D and C and some ginseng in here too, so they also help boost your immune system, which is very important right now. I noticed the benefits of CBD massively, and it's been something in its various forms that I have been very thankful for finding in the past couple of years. It's definitely one to read into, really do your research on, make sure you're finding a good quality CBD, but something that's helped me to no end. So those are important as well in the morning. And then I have been doing a vitamin D spray. I've always used a vitamin D spray. The sprays are particularly good at getting into your bloodstream a lot quicker than tablets or anything that you take orally. There are various different reasons and different benefits to this, but definitely worth looking into. And I feel like vitamin D is the one vitamin that, as Brits in particular, we do struggle to get into our systems. So I always make sure I take one of those. And then the newest supplement to me is this 8 Greens tablet. These are very funky because they look like those vitamin C tablets you take when you have a hangover. They fizz up in water. These ones contain basically 8 different greens, as the name suggests. They've got spinach, aloe vera, wheatgrass, kale, blue-green algae, spirulina, chlorella, and barley grass. So I not only do try and get as much green leafy, dark green vegetables into my diet as possible in their whole form, but I think it's just nice sometimes to have a little extra top up. Sometimes, some days, I haven't really been eating the best just because I want to eat comfort food and things that make me feel happy and warm and good. So it kind of gives me peace of mind that I'm taking those too. And those are the supplements. So let's come to the end of this and finish off with a book favourite. Now, I haven't actually finished reading this book, but I have read it before. And I did want to mention it because it's been so long since I've included a book in a favourites video, and I know you enjoy recommendations and general book chat. I will definitely film a video soon about everything that I have read, been reading, and plan to read. So expect a full book video coming soon. But I wanted to talk about this because it's my current read, and I enjoyed it when I first read it, and I'm enjoying it now. Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. This is definitely spurred on by the fact that I really want to watch the Armie Hammer Lily Jane's adaptation that has recently dropped on Netflix, and I'm a massive stickler for always reading the book first. I first read this, not this particular version, but a very battered, beaten up old book that I think I pulled off of my mum's bookshelf. I was probably about 14, 15, went upstairs, sat and read it cover to cover. I was so engrossed in the story. And Rebecca truly is one of those really engrossing, kind of almost like thrillers. If you are not familiar with Rebecca, despite it being a classic, if you haven't seen any of the adaptations or read it, it's basically about a young woman who falls in love with this man, they get married, and then she kind of just starts to realise that she doesn't know her husband that well. Secrets come out, and there's a lot of stuff called into question, and it's a wild ride. It really pulls you in, and it really makes you want to know the true story. It has been, and probably always will be, one of my favourites, so it was really nice to kind of get immersed back into it again. Just that first line, last night I dreamt I went to Mandalay again, for me, like, gives me shivers. It just, super nostalgic. Again, I'm clinging on to that nostalgia, am I not? And a really great read. I feel like we could almost do like a little mini book club with this, because I'm not quite finished with it yet, and I feel like maybe if any of you want to read along, we could talk about it. Let me know down below in the comments if you have read it, or if you're planning to read it, or if you're going to watch the Netflix adaptation, which I'm really ready for. Give me a period drama any day, and I will absorb it. So yeah, quick mention to Rebecca, although I will definitely try and indulge you in some book content very soon. So I think that is actually it. I'm definitely battling with lighting at the moment, so I'm going to call it a day. So that is my September, October favourites. I'm going to leave everything linked down below as normal. Let me know as well what your favourites were this month, guys, because I really enjoy reading those every time I post one of these. And yes, let me know if you're going to be reading Rebecca, and maybe I'll post about it on Instagram as well. Thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.